Hey, it's Jack here, and today we're in Tonopah, Nevada at the Central Nevada Museum. Let's go inside and check it out. Now, this is something I thought was really cool. When I first walked in, I saw the purple glass. It's sun-colored glass. This is from the 1890s to 1920s. And the glass was produced with manganese, which caused the glass to turn the color it is when the sun hit it. Bottles and plates and lamp covers. Here's some more of the jars and bottles that have been sun bleached. We see this banner, Tonopah, Nevada, 1935 J.C. banner store. Largest sale gain in the state. How cool is that? And there's another one for 1938 for J.C. Company. Tonopah banner store, largest percentage of sales increase in the state of Nevada. Look at the size of this cat here. This is a female mountain lion. It says it's from Smoky Valley in Nye County. And they got a partridge. Over in this cabinet is a coyote. Over here in this display case they have fossils that have been found scattered around central Nevada. Here's some Western Shoshone petroglyphs that have been found in central Nevada. There's a grinding stone. And more petroglyphs right here. These are arrowheads found in central Nevada. Here's a doll collection that was donated. It says that the clothing is from the 1900s, representing the formal wear during that era. Here is more Western Shoshone artifacts, baskets, and beadwork. This is the settlement of central Nevada. Back there in the corner, that's an old Edison box. And those are cylinders that would play on that Edison machine. You'd crank it up and put the cylinder on and drop the needle on there, and it'd play a song or whatever's on that cylinder. Here are some firearms. And if you've never fired one of these are a lot of fun. I fired one. It's a .22 caliber pump action rifle. A lot of fun to shoot. Well, I was told it's safe to walk over in this part of the museum. Very safe to walk in this part of the museum. Here is a Peerless job press that was used at the Tonopah Daily Bonanza for printing items as business cards and letterhead. This is the Belmont Courthouse. This was formed in Esmeralda County and February 16th, 1864, and this was the county seat building at that time. And here's a vintage cash register, National Cash Register. Push the buttons, crank the handle, and this one's got several drawers to go with it. Over here are some vintage photos of Tonopah and the miners. There's a moose lodge here. Got the Rotary Club up there. Here's what the town looked like panorama in 1915. So here is a large panorama view of Tonopah from 1913. Some of these buildings are still standing today. Neighboring town just up the road about 30 minutes is Goldfield, and this is a panoramic view of Goldfield from 1909. That looked like a booming city back in 1909. Here's some artifacts from Tonopah here that got an old camera, some silver spoons, and some other items here. cornerstone items in 1905. And these are items from Goldfield, Nevada. Up in the corner here is a Goldfield Fire Department. And in the middle we have some more silver spoons. And below that, that's an adjustable golf club right here. The Novavac Club adjustable golf club. Back then it sold for $9.75, and the takedown version was $11.75. And that's from the 1930s. And mining is a huge part of this area. In fact, Tonopah is a huge mining town, as are the surrounding towns here. And these are all artifacts from the mines. Lanterns and other items. Here's some rock specimens taken from the various mines in the area. And they used to have a railroad here in town, Tonopah Railroad. It used to run between Tonopah and Las Vegas. It ran through other communities such as Goldfield and Rhyolite and Beatty. And if you look at my video at the end of this video, I'll leave a clip to that video for Rhyolite and what it looks like today. And we can see some spikes from that railroad. And there's some railroad stock back in the corner there. This is from the Tonopah Presbyterian Church. This is the church organ that used to be at the church. Pretty good size. Now this is out of Goldfield, Nevada, and this is the Goldfield organ. Here's some old cigar boxes. Here's a switchboard that's from Goldfield, Nevada. Here's the back end of that telephone switchboard. Look at all that wiring. Here's an old vintage camera from many years ago. Here's items from the mines. And to signify the ranches that are in the area, here's some saddles that were used on those ranches. And of course, no museum would be complete that talks about ranches without having their barbed wire collection. This is about World War I patriotism. And they've got some artifacts from World War I here. Here's a replica bomb for the Tonopah Army Airfield that was active during World War II from 1942 to 1945. Here's an aerial view of that army base that used to be here, and this is from 1944. Here's a silk banner from that same airfield. There's one here, and another one right above it there. And more artifacts from the airfield. Here's a Browning 50 cal right here in front of us. Here's a World War II flight jacket. Actually belonged to Lieutenant Colonel Barney Lee Glenn. He was a veteran of 3 wars, beginning with World War II. Here is a mock-up post office of what it looked like back in the day. Well, this banner signifies Tonopah High School, local high school here. From 1920 to 1944, the graduates who went on to the armed forces. For such a small community, that's actually quite a large number of people who joined the armed forces during those times. This cabinet shows Tonopah High School colors. We've got football uniforms, marching band stuff. There's also some stuff in there for Goldfield. These are artifacts from the Tonopah Goldfield Railroad Depot. This is a center mass switch track from that same railroad. They've got several railroad ties from the Tonopah Goldfield Railroad. Over here on this side, they've got these mining ore cars. And one thing I've noticed I like about this museum is they label everything. So when you're looking at it, you know what you're looking at. So this tells you it's a mining ore car from Tonopah Mining Company from 1905 to 1945. And here's another one that's the same. There's various machines out here. That's a drill sharpener there. There's a trip hammer here. Now something I just noticed as I came around the corner. It's right up there. The moon's already showing itself up, saying good evening to everybody. And it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's an outhouse here. And they do remind you that do not use the outhouse. There's restrooms inside the museum. And the stonework here is from the Tonopah Club that burned down in 1974. This is the remnants of the sign that was out front. It read Tonopah Club 1907. Now this tower here, this is from the airfield from World War II that was out here. This is the bomber gun range tower from that airfield. Now, stairs we could climb up, but they do have the tower closed, so we can't get up inside the tower. But yeah, it's a nice historical artifact right there from World War II. This is an Air Force guard shack that was used from 1956 to 1970. You can see there's a guy hanging out in there. This is the guardhouse as it looked when it was on top, next to the radar site. Well, here's an elevator. It's an Otis elevator that was in the State Bank and Trust Company building here in Tonopah, installed in 1906. It was donated to the museum in 2020 by the Klein family. Out here they had this memorial dedicated to the memory of the United States Air Force, Army Air Force personnel who lost lives during training accidents at the Tonopah Gunner Range from 1942 to 1945. And on top of that they have the Browning 50 cal. There are other artifacts out here from the Army Air Corps. Some landing gear right here. And of course, no museum tour is not complete without walking through the merchandise area. Here it's primarily books and more books, history of this central Nevada area and mining in general. Well, I hope you enjoyed this walk around tour of the Central Nevada Museum here in Tonopah, Nevada. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We'll catch you on the next one.